All right, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. This is Art, and we are here. We are reporting live from GLAMDRING. The 64-bit server transfer has gone through for me. I know there are people still in the process. We're going to click on our character. I have not entered this server with this character. And let's take a look. It was a bit of a rocky process. You know, I don't... For me personally, I want to extend a lot of grace and appreciation to the team at Standing Stone. I think that's the name of the company, but whoever's the company behind this. It was a lot. It was a lot, and I think they were sort of really put through the ringer with the process. It didn't go smoothly, like I was saying. For me, it took about 10 days, but not entirely accurate because I sort of had some bad luck. I got my transfer through during a window on a Friday evening, and I didn't realize that there was a problem with that window. That window had some kind of 24-hour timeout error, and I didn't know that. I was getting my information from Discord, and there was a pinned message talking about, hey, if your transfer went through during this block of time on a Friday night, it didn't work. There's an error, it's not going to work. I just didn't see it. So because I didn't see it, I didn't know. So I waited everybody's saying it could be 3, 4, 5 days. So I was like, okay, I'll just give it time, And after that time, I was like, I'm still not seeing anything. And I sort of checked in, and then I was like, okay, because I didn't want to be like, hey, bro, where's my shit? Immediately. I wanted to be just like, hey, I know this is a thing. I know this kind of stuff is hard. I know Standing Stone, what I don't know. I believe Standing Stone is not the biggest team in the world. So I just wanted to be like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be a dick. When it happens, it happens. I love Lord of the Rings Online, but it's a game. So I wasn't going to stand here and freak out. And there are people, I saw in the Discord, there were some people coming in pretty hot about the technical difficulties they were having. And I don't want to discredit, what they're going through, because some of the people are kinship leaders, and there was a lot of trickiness around that, and if your kin has housing, and there's a lot of time and gameplay that you've invested into getting your kin to how you had it on the old servers. And if you're well, I'm worried if there's a threat that you feel threatened that you're going to lose that, I could appreciate being coming in hot. But I will say there were people that were well, maybe I'll have to consider, Lord of the Rings as a whole. And I was like, well, ooh. I was like, look, I was like, excuse me, somebody's wrong on the internet. I need to, I wasn't one of those people typing stuff out, but I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, how I approach it is the only reason why my kin would have, if I were a kin leader, the reason why I would have led my kin or whatever to such a degree that I, cared about it and cared that everything came over flawlessly, is that I just spent so much time and energy on it because I loved it. And so I think I would get the disappointment that hey, we got screwed out of wherever our house was located, or, I don't know, but I want to believe that the love you have for the setting and the game and the community doesn't disappear just because maybe your house is in a different location. And, and I don't mean to trivialize, because I genuinely don't know what, what it feels like. I can't empathize. I'm a filthy casual, as you can see, and I'm just, blowing through the story on my own pace. But it seemed extreme to be screw this, I might just have to reconsider Lord of the Rings as a whole. I was like, ooh, really? Like, where are you gonna go? Like, what are you gonna... Like, one, are you really gonna be able to upend the whole community and transplant them? I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe everybody's also playing Final Fantasy 14 or something. I really don't know, but it's never going to be this. You know, it's what I've rambled on for about 3,000 hours on these videos, is that there's really something special, not just about Middle-earth, but about this implementation of Middle-earth. You know, and I want to believe, and I don't know this in any way whatsoever, that two are intrinsically linked. You know, the reason why the community is here, and the reason why is because there's also a passion for the lore and the setting and the blah, 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 blah. So, that I would be willing to, like, you know what? Yeah, like, you know, our kin house, and again, I'm reducing it, like, this is, you know, I'm sure there's tons of things. Like, I think there's a lot of steps where, like, if you're the leader of a kin, you have to come over first. So all of your kin members, I don't know if this is 100% true, I thought this is what I was seeing on the Discord. All your kin members have to sort of make sure you get in first and set the kin up and get going. So you know, it's a really, on you know, looking at it from the player perspective, it's definitely more complicated and more arduous than I imagine Standing Stone Games hoped. You know, I don't think they were sitting there going like, hell yeah, I think we nailed it. Let's have things take 5 days, and there's a timeout window on a Friday evening, and, you know, so like I said, for me, I had to then start the process over. But I hope that, this is what I really hope. What I really hope is that everybody can sort of pull their perspective back, you know, get a little bit more of a 1,000-foot view, and see this for the blip that it is. It's a couple weeks, could be a month, you know. And I know, like, we're paying money, and, you know, maybe there's a way Standing Stone Games can make that right on some. I can't say, but it's a blip. Hopefully, you know, for most people, under most circumstances. And then, you know, if you can get through it, waiting for you on the other side is, you know, the game that many of us have loved for, you know, almost 17 years. You know, I'm recording this in mid-March of 2025. I think the game came out in April-ish of 2007. So, all right, we got those two down. I think I don't know what this is, but I don't need this. So let's remove this from the tracker. So yeah, so anyway, so I you know, just to brown notes a little bit, you know, I appreciate everything that, you know, Standing Stone Games is going through, and I appreciate the fact that this game is still around when maybe by some metrics it has no right to be. Maybe that's overstating it, but, you know, it's like, it feels like the little engine that could. Still getting kind of, it's been a while since I played because I was waiting for a transfer. I was like, you know what? No matter, unless it was going to completely jam up the recording schedule, you know, I try and put one of these out every other week, and then I alternate it with, again, the time of this reporting, Ultima 5. And so, you know, it was Lord of the Rings' turn in the rotation, and like, I was like, ooh, it's getting close, You know, I try and put these up on a Tuesday, which means the absolute latest I can have these done is like, well, Monday, because it, you know, it can take a long time to not upload, but for YouTube to process. I get that interrupted nice. So I try and have it at the latest up by Monday afternoon. So I was like, this one's gonna come in hot. Gonna come in a little hot. But figured that was alright. Okay, I'm trying to get the muscle memory down for resolution. That's a good one. Okay. And then the most is exaltation about it. Okay, so there we go. I think we sort of got those back in the rotation. And so, yeah, like, you know, I mean, I can't speak for anybody. Who am I to say what, you know, kins are going through as they're trying to navigate this transfer. What I was contemplating is, like, do I just do another Ultima 5 session and, you know, and just let this keep playing out and, you know, really not come back until the transfer is done. And then luckily, I didn't get the email. You're supposed to get an email when it goes through. That not everybody does. I did not. So I was thinking, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go back because then I can probably horse my way over. I can use a technical term. I didn't get the email, but I would, you know, every morning I would just sort of say, well, let me see if I can log in and if my characters are there. And yeah, last night, Friday night, it was very, very late. I was online chatting with my brother. We, as I probably said, we do online cooperative CRPGs. We just finished Wasteland 3. I never played Wasteland 2. It doesn't have co-op, so I never quite got through all of it. But yeah, we beat Wasteland 3 on hard difficulty with the DLC. Thank you very much. And then afterwards, I was like, yeah, let me just log in and see any progress. And then boom, all my characters are there. I clicked on one of my alts that I haven't touched in forever. I don't know if you saw in the beginning, there was like a champion. I think I checked on him. 29.9. I've currently got something doing 32, so okay, so that's worth 9. That's worth 12. So I'm going to take the helmet because I'm just going to sell it anyway. So now we're going to go to Milwyn. Let's figure out... There we go. Keep the goat key. Forge Master, Stable Master. So I'm looking to see if I can get to either Cod Destel or Karen Emroth. Let's see which one we can. Oh, interesting. I guess I'll eventually get there, but I haven't unlocked that one, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it legit. But yeah, you know, and then, you know, I was running around with my champion, which was a class that initially I took because I didn't know what I was doing, and like guides and whatever said, hey, you know, this is not a terrible starting class. And it wasn't for a while, but I always struggled with it. I know I've talked about this before. The Warden is when something really clicked. And then later, Burglar was another one that really clicked. I don't know if I've ever... I have on Angmar, I think I mentioned a Guardian, which is one I've always wanted to play. I'm like level 12. But that one I've always been curious about. I don't know if it clicked the way the Warden clicked, but it was fun. And I don't know if I've ever played a Lore Master or a Minstrel. The Rune Master and like the newer ones, like the Swashbuckler, whatever it is, the Boring, you know, when you turn into like the bear. I don't know if those would ever really appeal to me. Maybe one of these days I'll try a Minstrel. And the Burglar I'm genuinely really enjoying. I don't know if it's a super popular class, but yeah, no, I'm really digging it as well. So anyway, but yeah, there it was. All my stuff was online. It seemed to have transferred over. You're seeing it in action now. I gotta say, like, so far, you know, you're getting popping and stuff, but what I haven't gotten was sort of the stuttering. I haven't really experienced that yet. So far so good. And I feel like, you know, I was chatted about probably too many times already. You know, I feel like this is this was a step, right? This had to be done. You had to sort of reinvigorate sort of the backbone of what everything is hanging on to make sure you can move forward. That's sort of how I took it.
Greetings to you.
Okay, I'm gonna do this legit again. I'm gonna ride into the forest and make my way up there. Instead of just, well, no, technically speaking, what am I doing? I'm not going to swift travel, but if I do it this way, it's sort of the same thing, and I can go on autopilot, not worry about getting lost. Anyway. So yeah, Wasteland 3. Really good. Really interesting co-op experience. It's not, man, it's sort of bizarrely not seamless while being seamless. Meaning you can have 6 party members, and each human being, each player can control 3. But there's a separation to the 2 groups that exists, where, like, you know, if I wanted to modify a weapon with something I crafted or whatever, my brother might have had the modify weapon skill at like 8, but it wouldn't count it when I was trying to make, like, it wouldn't let me use his skills when I was in the windows. Like, hey, the party has somebody with an 8, you're good to go. It didn't sort of see it that way. It felt like it would see my 3 and his 3 separately in certain ways when trying to accomplish certain things. And I think part of that is, I thought maybe there was an intention, like, you could go your own ways on the map, but I don't even know if that would really work. So I'm not quite sure why it was set up that way, so then what ended up happening is, you know, we sort of have to overlap skills within quote unquote party. And we might have been just playing it wrong. Maybe it was like, hey, no, actually the intention was you do A, B, and C, and then it works like, oh, okay. But anyway, initially, and I think I may have said this, you know, because I talk about CRPGs and all the different streams, initially we weren't blown away. You know, a lot of, you know, Borderlands, especially 2, I never played 3, but it's a pretty big offender. It sort of becomes like pop culture references. It becomes like these weird kinds of jokes. And Wasteland 3 felt a little like that in the writing. And as the game went on, it got less like that in the writing, but it stayed like that sort of in like the equipment and the things like that. But that was a little easier to overlook. So, you know, we started to get a little bit more into the story.
Few only have had the joy of seeing this place.
Hey, welcome to Karen Amroth, Black Lodge. Few have only had the joy of seeing this in its fading times, its beauty a remnant only of the majesty it once held. For on this mound, Amroth, Lord of Lorien, built his house in the days before his love was lost, and he himself vanished from Middle-earth. It is said that when the south wind blows upon the hill, if you listen to the sound of the gulls, you might still hear Amroth calling for his lost love Nimrindel, but she never came back. Milwyn pauses for a moment, but with a light laugh she recovers herself. Do not look sad, Black Lodge. Karen Amroth should be a reminder of happier days. Walk upon the grass and be joyful, for sorrows will not follow you here.
A moment, friend, before you go.
Chapter 2, Ringbearer's Respite. Before you go, Black Lodge, you should know that you are not the only visitor that has come to Lorien in recent days. In fact, I understand that you are known to these guests, and they will be pleased to see you. The hobbit Frodo Baggins is resting with some members of his company at the crest of the hill. I do not know what errand has brought them to the Golden Wood, or if you have been entrusted with the knowledge of it, but I'm sure he'll be pleased to see you. Again, nicely interweaving the main plot of the novels, the movies, whatever your source of the story is, with our actions here in game. But yeah, Wasteland 3, it really kind of came together nicely. The tactical combat was pretty good. My brother, who has beaten Wasteland 2, said in the end he preferred that. But he said he preferred that because it never got quite so jokey. It was a little more grounded. Now, I don't know if that means for some players it might be a little more... repetitive's not the right word, but it wouldn't have the variety I think the way I might try and couch it is, we're in Emroth. Here we go. Wasteland 2 is a little less gonzo. And I think that was how I interpreted what my brother was saying, and I think he preferred that. Which I might as well, but I don't have context. And then, again, like a good Wasteland story after you finish the game, it sort of pieces together like a montage of choices you made. Now, again, as the co-op player, my brother was the host. He got the montage. I didn't get to see it, but apparently the choices we made, there's no way to really know this going in, turned out to be like the worst ending for everybody. Like every place is like, yeah, and like in this place, it was going like this, and then it fell apart because you didn't do this. And then that place, well, they also fell apart because you were doing XYZ. And then, of course, when you did XYZ here, of course, they're just screwed. So we were like, okay. There you go. Boromir has gone off by himself. I do not think he trusts the elves here. So we got a little bit of dread going. Why is that? Because there's a little bit of evil going on with that one ring.
We have come such a long way, haven't we?
Black Lodge. When Milwyn told me another traveler from over the mountains had come to Lothlorien, I had no idea it would be you. We have come such a long way, haven't we? There's still a long way to go, but here in Lothlorien, I have found it difficult to worry too much about the road ahead. You have to tell Sam and me what has happened since we parted. My friend, feels like a lifetime has passed since leaving Rivendell, and several at least since I last saw Bag End. But Sam does not seem as surprised to see you as I am. You haven't become the chief conspirator of another conspiracy, have you, Sam?
Hello there.
Hello there, Black Lodge. Me? A conspirator? It's not like that at all, Mr. Frodo, and you know I'm not cut out for the keeping of secrets, despite your teasing. It's just that so many queer things have happened to us already, and this place being so elvish and all. I've just about given up being surprised when something out of the ordinary happens. And here comes Black Lodge, out of the woods, right enough. You should find Mr. Merry somewhere around this hill, Black Lodge. I know he'll be pleased as anything to see you. He's taking one of his walks, and might be resting in a private garden nearby. So, of course, this is the main book quest, Chapter 2. I don't know, I should have checked. We're in Volume 2, Book 7, Chapter 2. Talk to Meriadoc Brandybuck. Into a log. Like the hero that I am. So yeah, the TLDR, the long story short, whatever, Wasteland 3 is worth a look. If you're looking for like a pretty big, deep, tactical CRPG, the sci-fi is solid. It sort of does right by the classic Wasteland setting for the most part. Pippin said he was going to take a nap. I wasn't paying attention.
I did not think to run into you here. I can tell you that.
Well, hello there, Black Lodge. I have to admit I did not think to run into you here in Lorien. You're on the wrong side of the mountains, aren't you? Aren't we all? Mary's face lights up as he laughs long and loudly. Pippin is around here somewhere, taking a nap, I believe. No, I wouldn't wake him. We'll all have plenty of time to catch up, I imagine. Lothlorien is so peaceful, it's hard to remember how hard our road will be, and has been. I wonder if you might track down Boromir. He doesn't seem to be having as good a time here as the rest of us. I think he's impatient to get going again, but maybe seeing you again will cheer him up. I last saw him on the northwest outskirts of the great clearing from which Cairn Amroth rises. To Boromir. Yeah, the tactical combat, there's a lot of options, a lot to consider, It was a genuinely good experience. It wasn't maybe like the top experiences like I had with maybe Divinity Original Sin 2, but it was really quite enjoyable. And a really strong CRPG outing. If you're looking for something to really sink your teeth into. It's not quite as polished, maybe, as... I mean, if you've played Baldur's Gate 3, I have not, actually. Shockingly, maybe. It might not be quite as polished as, like, Larian's efforts. There's maybe slight cracks and chunks and whatever, but overall, yeah, Wasteland 3 was quite good. And so we were sort of contemplating, like, what do we do next? And for a hot second, we were thinking about get up this hill. Had a walkway there. For a hot second, we were thinking about trying the Owlcat Rogue Trader Warhammer game, sci-fi one. But I think we wanted to take a little bit of a break from just turn-based CRPGs. So we're actually going to try the most recent release in the Sniper Elite series, which is Resistance. The Sniper Elite series is a fantastic co-op, action, almost RPG. You get skill points that you bump up and stuff. Really good series. I don't know if it's like one of those overlooked gems, diamonds in the rough, whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, but a really good series. And in co-op, it's hysterical. I feel bad. I think my brother might... I'm not very good at video games, as you've watched here. And so when it's more action and, physical skill-based, then sort of thinking, what do I want my move to be? I get much worse. And so my brother, who's pretty good at, especially the Sniper Elite games, I think he has to carry me a little bit, and it doesn't quite stay 100% stealthy and whatever, as long as he could probably do if he wasn't pulling my dead weight around, so.
It's most strange to see you here. Has Eliador been made safe already?
Let's see, it's most strange to see you here, as the last time I saw you was the night Elrond of Rivendell entrusted you with the continued defense of Eriador. Is that land so safe already? Oh, man. Okay. Boromir sighs and squares his shoulders again. I'm sorry, Black Lodge. My words were born of frustration, not of dislike. Every hour we spend in idleness here is an hour during which the shadow draws closer to my city. I've seen little of Aragorn and even less of Gimli. The dwarf seems to have gotten over his distrust of elves easily enough. Even now he's off with Legolas, atop one of the trees at the crest of the hill of Cairn Amroth. Speak to him and see for yourself. Alright, how far? Oh, going right into the heart. Let's, mount up. And again, I say this earlier, such a beautiful game. Such a beautiful game. Beautiful soundtrack. Gandalf should be here. It isn't right what happened to him. Yeah, so of course this is after he's fallen in Moria. Legolas. Gimli.
By Durin's beard, I did not expect to see you again so soon.
I'm glad to be surprised. Legolas has been showing me the woods of Lothlorien and the majesty of these trees. So like two stone-carved pillars beneath the mountains, fills this dwarf with amazement. And even in a land of marvels, its lady is the greatest one of all. Still, I'm ready to return now to the ground. If you ask me, the trees are best admired from below, rather than up among their branches.
We are just about to search for more patrolling orcs. Why not come with us?
Yeah, so Legolas and I were just about to take another walk among the trees of Lothlorien in search of patrolling orcs. Why don't you come with us? What do you think, Legolas? Is there room in our party for a third? Surely Black Lodge will enjoy seeing the beauty of the wood, and the possibility of hewing an orc or three will only sweeten the appeal of such a tour. All right.
delighted if you were to join us.
The beauty of Lothlorien is best when shared, though we must all remain alert, even when walking among the trees of Lorien. The orcs of Moria have come down into Nandahirian, and are able to sneak past the borders on occasion. Let me know when you're ready to go.
Are you ready to go?
Solo quest?
Though the memory be now dim, of old, elves and dwarves were close in friendship. Legolas of Mirkwood and Gimli the dwarf, through shared hardship, have rekindled the old bonds. Even now they look for orcs to slay beneath the eaves of Lothlorien.
How can I be of service?
Are you ready? It is possible that no further orcs have crept beyond the borders, but if any have, we must be prepared to do battle. Come then, I will show you the way. This way, my friends. Protect Legolas and Gimli. Sure. Yeah. Ka-chunk, 17.5 for their morale. I've got like 2,200. I heard tales, but they were not of the same sort. Legolas, but the songs not do these woods justice. Okay, I'm not paying attention, but yeah. Protect Legolas and Gimli. That's pretty rich. Old friends. Well, I don't see anything, and the eyes of dwarves are renowned for their sharpness. Is that actually true? Or is that kind of like a joke? Like, I know the elvish eyes are, but what are you shooting at, Legolas? I guess it's going to be a joke. Save some for the rest of us, Legolas. You and Black Lodge will have your chance, Gimli. This orc was just a scout. Here we go. I have to protect Gimli and Legolas. I think I screwed up that timing. Here we go. I do not lose count of my victories, Legolas. Let's press on. There may be remnants of this troop still within the woods. It saddens me to see even these few orcs within the Golden Wood. My axe delights at it, but this dwarf is saddened for your sake, and for the sake of the lady. Okay, dial it back, Romeo. Coming off a little hot and desperate. Does she think she talks about me? Did she say anything about me? What do you say, Gimli? Do your dwarf eyes detect more orcs nearby? Aye, there be orcs close, but it is my nose that tells me so. Here we go. Get some Boar's Rush going if this is the right. There we go. Boom. Add to the tally. Of course, they're doing the competition, which, of course, classic. Nope, just screwed that up. Okay. Galadrim Archer on the way. Nice. Okay. That is often the way of an unwelcome visitor. Okay. Rewards do not suit you, friend Galadrim. You have been gone so long without learning the meaning of courtesy, my axe can be a willing teacher. Too many dwarves have come to Lothlorien in recent days. Another has come to the border, Black Lodge, and is asking for you. Out of respect for you, Black Lodge, and as a courtesy for the good you have done us, I've been told to find you and send you to the eaves of the wood. A stranger has arrived on the borders. In these unusual times, such a visitor to Lothlorien has been seen only once. The stranger is a dwarf, and he's asking for you, Black Lodge. Follow Legolas and Gimli to the borders. What dwarf would willingly come to this place where hospitality to guests is unknown? Do not take it to heart, Gimli. Neither of our kindreds have been friendly for some time. He is welcome to come to Khazad-dûm if it pleases him. I will tie his blindfold myself. This is always a good bromance in the books, you know, these two. It was well done in the movies, well done in the books. Even though I was never really a fan of, like, counting 3, that's 3, you know, whatever. Gimli, Gloin's son? It's not Bosi, is it? We're a long way from the Iron Hills, Bosi. Things are not going well for the Iron Garrison in Khazad-dûm, Black Lodge. Mazog still rules much of the deeps, and many of the levels from his stronghold of Zebagathol. And many good dwarves have fallen to his forces. Some, like my own son Bori, are still captives, or worse. I cannot bear to think what torments they have suffered behind the walls of Zebagathol. Still, the dwarves of the Iron Garrison struggle to reclaim the hidden caverns, but for every beauty that is unearthed, 2 evils seem to spring forth from the depths. I've come to enlist the help of the ruler of these elf woods. If Celeborn of Lothlorien wishes to reap the benefits of friendship with the dwarves, he must reciprocate in kind. You are trusted by these elves, Black Lodge. Tell this warden, this sentry, of our plight. Perhaps they will listen to you. Fellow warden, chat. We will bring this dwarf to speak with Celeborn, Black Lodge, but you will be held responsible for him. You'll be accountable for any and all of his actions while he remains within the Golden Wood. Come with us. Okay, so so we're here. Is there a way to... Oh, so we're right in the heart of Lothlorien. Okay, nice, all right. I got a little distracted, sorry. Part of, I was saying earlier, it's going to come in hot, etc., etc. I'm trying to do this before work on a Monday morning so that it's compressing during the afternoon, uploading, etc. And I think some construction might be about to start outside, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. So apologies, I got sidetracked. Okay. For the sake of the Iron Garrison, I have put up with the indignity of being blindfolded during the passage here at Black Lodge. But my people could teach the elves of this place something of courtesy were they to visit Khazad-dûm. Let us see now if the ill manners of the elves spring from their lord. Such indignities will be forgiven if Celeborn will help the Iron Garrison. Lord Celeborn and Lady Galadriel are most gracious. They will listen to your request. But will they do more than listen, I wonder? It is said that the Lady of these woods wields a terrible power and is no friend to dwarves. Said by those who know little or nothing about the Lady Galadriel, but okay, you're a little thirsty there, Gimli. Her power lies in wisdom and in kindness even for those who mistreat her. This way, please. Welcome to Lothlorien, Bosi of the Iron Garrison. I'm at your service, Lord Celeborn and Lady Galadriel of Lorien. If you know of the Iron Garrison, you must know of the troubles that have befallen us. I know that one who enters Moria should expect to find troubles within it. Oh, damn. I should be surprised to learn that this was not the case. Would you say the same if it were your home that needed reclaiming? Another oh, damn. Was the danger that came to my home of my own making? Triple damn, you hear a woman's voice in your head. Much resentment must be overcome if elves and dwarves are to have peace. But it must happen. Any are to survive. Coming tide. Perhaps you should tell us what hardships the Iron Garrison faces within Moria, Bosi. Yes, well, so I shall. Black Lodge has been a great help to us in the mines. We have won several battles against the orcs, but always they return and in greater numbers. Our miners work to unearth new passages, but nameless creatures lurk within the most promising. Now my son Bori has been captured by Mazog, ensnared by the something. Gorothul is known to me. I did not know he had left Mirkwood. I will send a number of Galadrim to aid your people in their efforts, Bosi. Times are too dark for the friendship of our peoples to remain lapsed. Come here, Black Lodge. And you too, Gimli. My lord's decision affects you both as well. The Lord of Galadrim has much wisdom, and it is his wish that the dwarves not face the darkness of Khazad-dûm unaided. So it will be, and you too shall stand against whatever evils lie now beneath the mountains, Black Lodge, if this is your wish. Talk to Gimli? Yeah, it says talk to Gimli. It's actually Galadriel that's got the... It's time for you to leave, young one. There is much to be done. Okay. Now we talk to Gimli. Got it. What are we up to? Chapter 3?
I would have the mines restored, but my road lies with Frodo.
I wish I could help the Iron Garrison with their efforts in Khazad-dûm, Black Lodge. The mines have brought me great sadness, but I would have them restored, and the Iron Garrison will need able-bodied dwarves if that is to happen. But I cannot. My road lies with Frodo, and I will see this errand through before I return to the mines. The need of the Iron Garrison is great, but Loin's son does not turn aside from one's charge to begin another. Gimli's brow furrows, and then his eyes light with wonderment. I am struck by the thought, Black Lodge, that Bosi's tidings may not have been unknown to the Lady Galadriel. At my first meeting with her, it seemed to me that she offered a choice between continuing the quest and leaving it to others. And here arrives just such a point of decision. Pump this back up. Okay, so we've got some Blade of Unity. I don't think any of this is going to really be useful. 990. This is whatever. 960. I'm just going to take the blade.
I have made my decision.
That is my decision. I will not abandon the quest with which I have been charged. I hope you will give to Bosi and the rest of the Iron Garrison the aid that I would have provided if I were there, Black Lodge. When the errand of this company is finished, I hope to return to reclaim Moria, and your efforts will help make that possible. Bosi said he would return to the Chamber of the Crossroads near Durn's Way in Moria. Go to him. And give him both my regret that I cannot now return, and my fervent good wishes for his success. Alright, so, this is what I was saying, with one of the last books, I think we're going back underground. We're going back underground. I think we're doing okay. So this quest is orange, so it's not like we're struggling against a level cap here at the moment. So I'm going to hold off on whatever these quests might be here with the other elves. And head back down, I guess. I guess I could just, use my Warden skill to recall myself to the 21st Hall. Alright, so far the construction's holding off, but, yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Alright, so now we're going to look for Bosi. So this is the first kind of, I don't want to say real test. I don't know how Lothlorien ran. On the 32-bit servers, I don't recall from my earlier main Warden that got to level 84 or whatever. And I don't recall from the first couple of sessions. I know there's some stuttering, I remember that, but I do remember the 21st Hall was always like a sticking point for the old 32-bit stuff. And this seems... I don't know if it's just empty, but so far so good. Let me just see where we're going. This out of the way, 21st Hall. Why does it tell me to go there? Oh, good, right, because you're at the Chamber of the Crossroads, not 21st Hall. Okay.
Dwarves must fight for dwarves.
Chamber of the Crossroads, I've unlocked that legitimately, so let's fast travel. Whoa, level 150. Again, what am I doing wrong that in like 90 levels they get 100 and something thousand?
These are my first dealings with Celeborn of Lorien. I do not know what to make of him.
Welcome back to Khazad-dûm Black Lodge. I'm disappointed that Gimli did not return with you, but I'm sure he has his own reasons. His father, Gloin, has been a close friend, long been a close friend of my father and Brogur's father, and Gimli surely retains the honor of his forebears. This is not my first dealing with Celeborn of Lothlorien, and I must confess I am not sure what to make of him. He has sent a number of elves to help us, and while I appreciate the assistance, they seem perhaps too eager to blame the dwarves for all the troubles, both present and past. They have established a camp with one of my dwarves, Orvar Bellhammer, in a newly excavated passage off Durin's Way, Buzungar. It is located in the very southeastern corner of Tharak Bazan, in the southern wall right near the exit from those gardens. You will find Tharak Bazan to the northeast of the chamber, yes, tree-filled area on your map there. Journey there will lend Orvar your aid. He's having difficulties getting along with the elves. So yeah, we're gonna go here, I think. That is Tharak Bazan. Let's see if there's a...
These halls will be great once more.
Here we go, Tharak Bazan. Yeah, you know, like, again, the Runekeeper's got like 170, 169,000, whatever morale. I've got just under 2,300. So at some point, what... I need to... I'm very curious. What am I not doing? Is it because I'm not doing deeds? I'm not min-maxing? I'm not, like, crafting? I'm just kind of curious if, like, those... you know, because I know I've... If you check the tape, I've been on record as saying, like, a lot of this stuff doesn't matter. Like, just whatever, just... But that is a significant difference. You know, clearly it doesn't matter because I'm making my way through this just fine. But, it's crazy. See if I can... the first 64-bit leg break. Really is smoother. So interestingly enough, I've got the FPS counter on, and it did just dip down into... I mean, it's an insignificant dip, like down to 105. Alright, let's see what's going on here with these three.
This cavern was recently unearthed, and the gardens here still thrive.
Let's see. I'm glad you're here, Black Lodge. These elves have been sent by Celeborn for the purpose of helping us drive the evil out of Khazad-dûm. So they say, but they seem much more interested in casting blame about than in doing anything helpful. This cavern, Buzungar, was found shortly after you departed, and many of my folk were impressed by the state of it. The gardens still thrive. At least up here they do. Something rots and corrupts the plant life as you descend. But while we could use some real help in clearing the cave of danger, instead these elves speak often of digging too deeply. And disturbing things. I can almost picture the air quotes, and disturbing things best left undisturbed. Like, we unleashed hell on ourselves and got Gandalf killed, air quotes, air quotes. You know, it's it's kind of true. If this is the best Celeborn has to offer, I'd rather he kept them in the woods. You talk to Karunathiel, Black Lodge, and see if I'm wrong. You'll see I'm not. Talk to Karunathiel.
Some evil lives at the bottom of Busungar, and it corrupts the gardens here.
Listen to me, Black Lodge. This Orvar will not listen to reason. Some evil lives at the bottom of this cavern, and this place is not sealed away. The evil may spread. This is always the way with dwarves. Why must they always dig into places they were not meant to go? Will they not be satisfied until no evil remains beneath the stone and all have come to the surface to lay waste to the homes of the elves and other good people?
What has drawn the Globsnorga to this cavern?
If Orval will not listen to reason and collapse the only entrance to this passage, sealing the corruption within, we must find its source and destroy it. Speak to Nymphaleg about finding the source and dealing with it. We have seen Globsnaga orcs deeper within Busungar and fear that they will soon climb up to this place. Have they been corrupted by the willing rot, or is there some other cause of their affliction? These questions are secondary to the most important matter, Black Lodge, that they be defeated before they can do us any harm. Destroy them as you undertake Nymphaleg's scheme for cleansing the source of the wilting rot. So yeah, it's basically going to be like, please kill 15 of these. There are multiple dynamic layers of this area. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so, I think we were talking about this at some point. I can't even remember what session. The idea of, could instances be used more to show progression? And I'm seeing here now we've got, this little icon in the lower right saying that there's multiple dynamic layers of this area. I don't know if that's just to help with congestion, with performance, or is that a way to check change? Okay, let's see what Nymphaleg says.
The rot that pervades Busungar is not of the natural world.
And that gives us the duty of removing it. If Orvar will not listen to our advice and seal the passage, we must destroy the source of the wilting rot before it escapes into wider Moria and becomes a much greater threat. I believe I have the means to do this. This barrel will catch pure light even at its most dim and reflect it upon the corrupted walls of the passage. If you place it on a stone in the deepest area of Busungar, it will be like a beacon to the evil of the rot, drawing forth whatever lies behind the wilting rot in agony. At that time, you must destroy the source of the rot, but use caution. You must remain close to the barrel, or its effects will not serve to weaken the master of the rot, whatever it may be. All right. Okay, so twofold here. We got to clean out some of the riffraff, and then we got to draw forth the rot. So let's see if we're... All right, the construction might be about to pick up. So what I might do is I might make my way through this, maybe talking less, and then see where we're at when we're done. See if I can keep going or if I need to pause and sort of stitch some together. Meanwhile, everybody's like, oh, thank God, I'll finally shut up. Alright, so making my way deeper. I'm not sure how deep we have to go, or if I'm missing huge chunks of this, but let's keep going. I wonder if I could just, like, jump off the ledge and be done with it. I'll see if I can do it proper. Make my way down. Oh, is this it? Okay. Let me see what happens. Was that it? Alright, I'm gonna speed back just to make that a little faster. I mean, since that thing just respawned, I guess it's not sort of checking off change by using instances. Otherwise, that would have been put down permanently.
Kyrog is defeated, but others of his kind may appear.
Okay, we're fortunate the Growlin the Kyrog, diminished as he already was, could be weakened further by the light of the barrel and used to draw him forth. No longer will his presence scar the gardens of Buzengar or spread out into wider Moria. I worry that more and stronger of his kind may lurk in the deep places, but there is little enough we can do if that's true. I'm delighted to have helped you fight the source of this rot. May the dwarves have learned a lesson from this. Okay, so we need some heavy armor, can't do. I'll take the boots of Galadrim and put them on. Inventory, character, where's these boots? There we go. Ooh, level's too low, minimum 60. Okay, right, I literally just saw that. Okay. Talk to or Karunathiel.
It will be some time before these gardens recover, but recover they will.
It'll be some time before the plants in the gardens within Buzengar can be restored, but your defeat of Rawalun the Kyrog will make that possible where it was not before. You have done well, Black Lodge, and I am pleased that you have helped save the dwarves from their own hard-headed determination to delve where they should not. A dwarf of the Iron Garrison came to speak with Orvar while you were in the depths. I believe he had a message for you.
That was no great task for you, was it? These elves worry for nothing.
Okay, you know what? This is actually an interesting point, because obviously in my head I was thinking that was a cakewalk. You know, is it just... I was about to say I wish that was a little bit more of a challenge, given that it was meant to cleanse the evil of this whole thing, and I just kind of wrecked it, but they're acknowledging that. Why should Karunathiel and Nymphaleg worry so greatly about sealing away Buzengar when you were so ably defeated, Rawalin the Kyrog? And now this passage can be of great benefit to the dwarves. Or do I take it the other way? I don't appreciate the implication that because I did it, must have been an easy task, sir. Let's see where this goes.
Broin has not been the same since he was returned to us.
The messenger sent by Broin. Have I ever been saying Broin? Broin was very clear that we should deal first with the corruption within Buzungar. Yet once that was done, his master desired greatly that you visit him again on the peaceful path, located in the mustering hall east of Solnul Doom. Let's see what's about to happen. And west of the stone hall, here along Durin's Way. The entrance to the peaceful path is northeast of Buzungar. If you allow me this, Black Lodge, I must tell you that Broin has not been the same since you returned him to us. It's no fault of his own. He has endured much in the watery den of the Watcher, curse its name. But the son of Brogur may be a little touched in the head. And then to lose his cousin Bori to the forces of Mazog, it cannot have helped. Treat him kindly and with patience, but if the requests he makes of you seem a little peculiar, you will at least know the cause. So if I remember, let me double check the maps. For some reason I remember, if I can just put this somewhere. Maybe it's not hard to get there. There was a place, it was like one of these places I was having trouble in the past getting to, but I think what I'm going to do is, given that there might be construction going on in any second, I'm just going to speed over. I'm starting to hear it, I think. You know what? Through the magic of editing, it is now later, and hopefully the construction's on pause for a bit, so I'll keep going. See how far we can get. Talk to Broin over here.
Buzungar is safe, but what of Bori? My cousin remains still a captive of Mazog.
Hello again, Black Lodge. My messenger returned from Buzungar with the news that you were in the depths trying to end the corruption that was found in that passage. I see you were successful. Broin seems to say something else, but decides against it. After an uncomfortable pause, he begins again, and this time the words come out in a torrent. Cannot understand why we waste so much effort on insignificant tasks while my cousin Bori languishes in the dungeons of Mazog. Why still do my father's dwarves mine while Bori is held? He may not still live, but if he does, just as I endured in the watery den of the Watcher, could it not be that every hour we waste brings him closer to death at the hands of the orcs? And still no one does anything. Broin takes a long breath, making an effort to calm himself. My father has asked me to search for records mined in nodes of Khazad-dûm, but I cannot bring myself to do such useless work. So I'm going to do it. If you will do it in my place, I can continue trying to think of some ways to help Bori. Look for these records in any of the old archives in the Great Delving, Chambers of Wisdom, Knowledge, or Deep Thought, or in Katub Zahar. It's rare that the quest actually is describing itself as pointless tasks when you when you accept it. All right. Of course, just like clockwork, the construction might be about to start now. We'll see how it goes. Again, I might just keep playing and mute the mic more. Because it's been a while since I played this, and I want to get to it, and who cares if I can't prattle on. So where are we going? We're going to the Great Delving. So let's start by figuring out... Oh yeah, I remember. This area was a little tricky to get around. I remember that. We're trying to get to Dolvin View, so let's see if we can... Again, because the time has passed, I could probably fast... Oh, maybe not quite yet. I was about to say I might be able to fast travel to 21st Hall, but that's not quite the case. A side quest, okay. I've got a I've got a setup that's decent about rejecting background noise. I know I talk about audio a lot. I know I talk about how, I hooked up with an X, is what I'm about to say. I have an SM7B again. And the fun thing, I was able to get a little bit of swag for it. Maybe let me mark this. Maybe I'll include the photo of what I got for the mic. But, maybe, I mean, it still probably sounds like trash, but I think I was saying, like, when I was using the Rodecaster Pro 2, it does things automatically for you so that people can be just like, yeah, you know, like, just plug it in and go, and it'll sound fine and whatever. I never loved the sound I got out of it. And all I was trying to do was get something that sounded natural. You know, I'm not trying to get it to sound boomy or like, I just wanted something that sounded relatively close to, again, what my voice often sounds like. And believe it or not, right now is not a bad approximation of what my voice actually sounds like. Did I just get stuck here? You know, I got rid of some of the boominess, got rid of some of the, you know, probably the stuff that makes my voice tolerable. I think I might just got myself stuck. Interesting. And the Rodecaster Pro 2 is very good about just like, yeah, just turn on the SM7B preset, good enough, whatever, it'll... There we go, I wonder why that worked that time and not the other. Anyway, I never found those presets working for me. What I did find is that I didn't understand exactly what it was doing. And so when I was like, there's something here that feels off, and I can't figure it out because I don't know what like, a sparkle... I have a rough idea of what it means, but I don't know what it means. Or, you know, whatever, the oral excite or whatever you know, stuff like that. So I'd be like, okay, I need to head north now. And I have a Roland Bridgecast X now. I sold the Procaster 2, and I've got a Roland Bridgecast X that allows me to do certain things the Procaster couldn't do. It's a great device. And it doesn't hold your hands quite as much in terms of, like, you're just auto set this and forget it. And in doing so, it made me realize it made me have to go learn a little bit more nuance about EQing my voice. And again, not that this is an amazing, but it sort of got me over a bit of a hump that I was struggling with. We're trying to get to Dolphin View. Now, what is this one? By not...
These halls will be great once more.
I'm going to go to the Chamber of the Crossroads. By not holding my hand so much, I think I had to learn a few little bits that helped me be able to dial this in. And, you know, dial this in a little more. And, I'm happy to have learned those things. Again, not that I did an amazing job, but I feel like I did make progress and learned. And I feel like I can finally say, like, yeah, you know, this mic didn't get the best of me in the end. I feel like
Lothlorien returns soon to his halls.
Dolphin View. I feel like I figured some stuff out so that I'm getting the sound out of it. I was sort of the sound I was getting before was always, and I know it's a muddy mic, but it was always a little too muddy. It was always a little too... And then, you know, you'd hear, this is a video that, you know, Epos Vox mentioned that another creator, Potato Jet, I think is the YouTuber's name. He, Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, there's just a bunch of bang outside. I didn't see anything show up on my levels when I stopped talking, so maybe it is blocking out enough sound to mostly keep going. And Epos Vox was like, yeah, Potato Jet, got Epos Vox made a video called "Falling in Love with the SM7B All Over Again" or something to that effect. And the idea behind it was he was always an RE20 guy. Blah blah blah. But he's like, yeah, but then when I saw this Potato Jet video and saw that he was getting like a really natural sound out of it, it made me want to go back and revisit it. And I was like, yes, that is, I watched these videos a while ago. It's not like I just discovered it, and I'm like, yes, that is what I've always, there's the first little hiccup there. So I think I want to be up top. And I was like, yeah, that's all I ever wanted. Slightly smoother but natural sound. And so I rewatched the Potato Jet videos, and he does videos with a mixer out in LA, sound engineer. And so I just watched a couple of those, and I was like, okay, so what is, not that I just like copy and paste their EQ curves, but I'm like, okay, so yeah, like SM7B is a very mid-forward microphone, but that doesn't mean you just scoop the entirety out of the mids, because I was creating some of the sound that I couldn't get rid of, that I was trying to compensate with like the sparkle and stuff on the Rodecaster Pro, and I didn't know how to correct for that. And then I was like, hey, you know what? And so when I was dialing in the SE Electronics T1, which is a really, really great condenser microphone, as long as you get something for the pop, the plosives. And I'm going to hold on to that. I really like that. I started like, wait a minute, I think I'm starting to figure certain things out. Like something it's doing here is something that reminds me of what I used to have trouble with on the SM7B. And so I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck it. Let me see if I actually learned anything. I picked one up, 7B, and dialed it in a bit. Yeah, and I was like, nice. Again, is it perfect? No, but it's not boomy. It's not muddy. I'm sure it still is, but it's not like it was before where I just couldn't make it go away. Now you get to hear the full ass that is my natural, slightly more natural sounding voice. I don't have like a thick, full boom of a voice. I don't know if it's in a lower register. It's a little scratchy. It's a little maybe nasally. I don't know. Oh, interesting. Contains some curious information. Bring mine records to Broin. Okay, yeah, let's check out these records. This Silvertine, 2 and 20 of the West Side Middling. Silvertine, 6 overpiling, okay. Records sent to Kazad Zaram. Harazgund, concerning lapse of rights. The exercise of construction for the arches. Alright. It feels pretty rote, but maybe there is something interesting there. Now Broin is back way up there. Okay, so I need to get back down to Dolven View. Anyway, so in my continuing saga of Nobody Cares bullshit, that's the latest chapter. What was interesting was, when I was watching the Epos Vox video, like his still did sound sort of like a little broadcasty. But he says he has a pretty deep, in his description, like a deep, full voice. So I was like, oh, okay. I think I want to be below. I'm just going to do it. Maybe 2. Oh, interesting. Interesting. That might be one way to get back. I thought I was just gonna snap my leg. It's not interesting at all. Man falls from great height and dies. It's not a newsflash.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
I don't remember where I'm trying to go. Tharak Bazan, which I might be able to get to from Dolven View. Let's start by going to Dolven View if I can't actually go straight to... I can't. Can't go to Dolven View either. 21st Hall? Okay. Let's see if now... Anyway, yeah, so...
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
Bunch of nonsense to say maybe construction outside won't be terrible.
These halls will be great once more.
Okay, so I'm not going to be able to get exactly to where I want to go. I wonder if any of this story takes you up. Have we been up here? Zirak Ziggle? I feel like I have briefly, but not much. Zirak Bazan, where am I? Can I get to Zirak Ziggle?
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
Am I just missing?
These halls will be great once more.
Yeah, that's not right. That's like old school. Okay, let's go to the Chamber of the Crossroads, see if that gets us any closer.
These halls will be great once more. The shadow of Mordor will not long fill.
There we go, Tharak Bazan. Yeah, the little bit of swag I got. They make little plates. You know, on the back of the mic, there's a little thing that says Shure that covers up the switches if you wanted to. And you can get customized ones, and I got one with our Black Lodge logo on it. It's fun, it's dumb, it doesn't do anything, but I got a kick out of it. Not that I think it'll show up. I don't know if my camera angle is enough to have it show up on stream. Maybe if I go with a wider lens. Got a 20 millimeter on the camera now. I have a 16 I could swap on. That might make it wide enough to have it show up on stream, but it was fun to get. And then another fun, you know, for a hot second, we hit 300 subscribers. It just dropped down to 299, so I don't know what we did to offend somebody or bore them. But regardless of the official... Hitting, again, I just want to say I really appreciate... We all do. We all appreciate everyone who's checked this stuff out and has liked, subscribed, left comments, jumped into the Discord, listened to audio, whatever it is. We really appreciate it. Because I know, like, again, 300 is not a lot. There are people there with millions, thousands, whatever. But we're coming up on 2 years of Black Lodge Trivia. And, you know, like any one of these, you start at 0. And, you know, we don't do things like we don't there's a lot of these videos where it's like, do this if you want to grow your skin. We don't do any of that. We don't, mess with thumbnails. We don't do make sure you hit this amount of time. Make sure some people say see what other video ideas have blown up and then do your own version of it just to get, we don't do any of that kind of stuff. And, we find it amazing that, and appreciate that 300 people, 299, jumped in, and hope you stick around, and hope there's fun stuff. Because I know it's a little scattershot. We're all over the place. So
what is this?
If you come for one thing, there might not be a ton of that one exact thing. I just did freelancer space trucking. And I would love to do more space trucking. I don't know what game I would choose. I don't know when I would do it. I did a bunch of Darklands, but I kind of wrapped that up. I don't know if I'll go back to it at some point, because I didn't beat the game. Anyway, I'm glad the mining records were in the first area, because that's I didn't want to go hunting around for all three. You've returned with the mining records? My father will be pleased, even if I'm not. Why must we waste so much time on meaningless tasks such as this when my cousin remains a prisoner of Mazog? Okay, so here we go. Broween takes the mining records from you with a sigh, but as he reads, his eyes widen and his face brightens. Do you understand what you found, Black Lodge? These are not simple mining records at all. These pages may hold the key to rescuing my cousin Bori. Listen to this. Melkoff stone carver commissioned for detail work on rear wall of Rush Durinol during nighttime for completion of Zur Thurk. Special instructions withheld by order of Durin. The word Rush Durinol drew my attention, Black Lodge, for that is the name of the throne of Durin, the very throne that Mazog has claimed for himself. Then see the name Zur Thurk, or Secret Road. Could it be that this dwarf, this Melkoff stone carver, was tasked with creating a secret passage out of Durin's throne room for the king to use in the event of danger? If this passage was completed, it might be used to gain access to Mazog. It might be used to rescue my cousin Bori. Oh. I'll take this. I almost never use any of it.
You must search the workshop for plans. I will stay behind. There is too much to do.
Yeah, right now there's some real banging going on outside, and it's not registering on the levels, so that's good. Stonecarver was renowned for much of his work, though I'd never heard of this secret road. Its inclusion in these records may very well have been an oversight by a scribe of Durin's day. He may have given us what we need to wrest my cousin from the grasp of Mazog's forces. It's because I have a noise gate, so when I'm talking you might hear it, but... Mazog has entrenched himself in the great fortress of Zabad-Gathal, surrounding himself with orc warriors. But if a secret escape passage was constructed in the rear wall of Rush Durinol, we might be able to sneak into the fortress unobserved. Stonecarver's workshop was recently uncovered, but no dwarves were left to guard it. Who could have suspected how important it might become? Take the western exit from the peaceful path, and once you come out into the mountainside, turn west and climb the short slope to the cave mouth. Enter the passage and search for word of the secret way. Okay. He's not going to accompany us. It's a solo quest. So we're looking for the west exit. Ziraxigil. Oh, is this the... Yeah, this is... I was saying, have we been here? I thought we had been, but if not... Or now. I do remember some part of the story taking us here, and maybe I was just remembering this.
workshop of Melkoth's stonecarver may hold the key to freeing the dwarf Bori from the clutches of Marzok. There is a rumor of a secret escape passage from the throne room of Durin, and knowledge of it may be found among Melkoth's possessions.
Okay. Search the scattered papers for mention of Zurthurk. Nope, nothing useful. Excuse me, sir, you're not welcome here, as I shove a spear down his... Okay, so there's more. Okay, let's go check these papers. Oops, my combo's all over the place. Nope, didn't trigger the gambit. There we go. So I can't tell if like I'm not noticing visual stutters, but input stutters are still happening, or if I'm just mistiming it, or if lag is lag and that's different. Something tells me this might be where the that 7 guys you got to deal with. Maybe that's okay, real delays there. Again, maybe that's just lag, but at least game isn't hitching. I don't know. The reality is that I'm overall I do feel like this is smoother, and that's mostly what I'm hoping for. But the real hope I have is that what I was saying earlier, the word Zurthurk catches your eye. You found what you sought. What I really hope is that it provides a better framework for whatever they're hoping to do in the future. And if I get benefits from it being a 64-bit server, great. The client's been 64-bit, I think, for a little while. How do I get out of here? Usually there's a way out of the instance near the finish. Okay.
You've done it, my friend. You've done it.
Look at these drawings. This is clearly Zebagathol, which means these hallways here are connected to Rushdurnal and Rowing laughs with delight. See this tunnel here? I would wager all the treasures of Khazad-dûm that this passage appears on no map save this one. Now, where can we gain access to this passage? Zur-Thurk, the secret road. We follow it along this way, Rowing's smile becomes a mask of confusion. Unless I read this wrongly, Black Lodge, it seems that Zur-Thurk connects to Buzun-Gar? Can this really be? We got to choose one. What do we got? We got a token. Bumps up vitality nicely. At some point, do I give up on the 25% experience gain on monster kills? I don't know if I can because I'm skipping so many side quests. We've got a hammer. Or a cleaver. They're all doing $9.90, $9.90. This one's $14. I'm going to take the trinket just because it's the most expensive in case I decide to sell it.
Road. I wish I could come with you, but I cannot.
Okay. How many fates must have entwined for the Iron Garrison to break open the entrance to Buzun-Gar just when we need it? If the secret road was built, you will find the entrance to it deep within Buzun-Gar. It must be a portent to have happened this day of all days. Broween suddenly finds himself unable to meet your eyes. I wish I could come with you to walk the secret road and rescue Broween, Black Lodge, but there is still much to do, and, well, I'm needed here. We will fight together on the next adventure, I swear it. Return to Buzun-Gar, located southwest of here in the southeastern corner of Tharak Bazan, and speak with Orvar Bellhammer. He will accompany you along Zur-Thurk, if it exists. Though he should be your only companion. Interest of secrecy. Alright, let's accept this quest. This is not where we want to, but we're not far. Okay. Again, I could pick up quests. Well, these things are all like green and light blue, so I feel like these aren't the quests I'm looking for, so to speak. If I were looking to do quests to get some XP, I'd be looking for orange, red, make the most out of it. Oh, there we go.
You say there is a secret way behind the walls of Sabatgathal?
I don't know, Black Lodge. It seems unlikely to me. With an eyebrow raised, Orvar listens to your explanation of Broeen's idea that it might be possible to rescue Bori. This is all well and good, but why isn't Broeen coming with you on this errand, Black Lodge? If you ask me, he's still not over his experience in the watery den of the Watcher. Seems to me that Lord Brogur has been trying to give his son trivial tasks to coax him from this brooding. But it has yet to work. Broeen will not be himself until he is able to conquer whatever fear clutches him. No matter. If you descend once again into the depths of Buzungar, where you stood against Grawolun the Kayrog, and find the entrance to the Zur Thurk, I will join you on the other side. Okay. Again, some delay there. That might just be lag. But it definitely doesn't feel like I'm getting stutters as I move about the cabin, so to speak. Let's back up, let that thing up. Now I wonder if this time we're going to make our way all the way to the basin below, or is it just finding our way back to where we defeated the monster the first time? I was trying to see as if something like these markings on the wall would be hidden back. Now, this is making it seem like I can cut through, but yeah, I don't think I can. There's an elevation difference. Okay, so let's head back down to this main chamber here. It might be dumb. It might just be like literally across the bridge there, but I'm just checking areas I haven't quite been to yet just to make sure. And I can't tell if that's actual playable area down there, or if it's like just like a Dark Souls where it's like instant death, even though you can see it. Here we go.
The secret way out of the throne room of Durin was known to a few only, all of whom perished during the fall of the Great Dwarf Kingdom. But the errant mark of a forgotten scribe preserved a record of its existence, and now it may be used to rescue the dwarf Bori from the clutches of the orcs.
This is incredible. Can we really use this passage to get behind the walls of Zebagathal? For how long has this tunnel remained undiscovered by dwarf or orc? Well, let's see if this passage is what Broin thinks it is. Now, when I say there's construction going on, I mean it's actually almost right outside the window that I'm in the room I'm recording in. So it's relatively close. It's not been like incredibly loud, but it is occurring. So it's nice to see like the noise gate sort of working the way, being so effective in this case. I'm probably not paying as close as attention to the game as I should be, because every time there's a noise, I just check the levels to see if it registered, and most of the time it doesn't. Again, just stunning. I almost ran off the ledge, but just stunning. We lose Orvar. Oh, clear the way ahead, and I'll rejoin. Okay. Orvar has arrived at this end of Zerther. And I've said, like, I really feel like this has not been too bad this time running through Moria so far. But the idea of this is just so cool. And I really got to check out some of the Moria stuff for the tabletop games that I have. You were right. This was once Rush Durinal, great throne room of Durin. The orcs have surely given it a crude new name, but it will always be Rush Durinal for the dwarves. Fight on into the orc encampment and search for Bori, Bosi's son. I will watch the rear to ensure that no creatures from Zur Thurk surprise us while we're doing battle with the orcs. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's see what this is. Let's build up Boar's Rush, then let, all three get in. Get them all. I wonder what a 5 does for Boar's Rush. Let's try it. Is it still, nope, Unseen Strikes. Does it still hit both? It does, okay. Might be worth thinking about. Combination seems, okay, so all the Spear, Fist, Spear, hit them all, so that's good. Whoops, alright. Orvar has arrived at the orc encampment, okay. Good work, Black Lodge, but it seems they are not keeping Bori here. Alright. We will confront Mazog directly and force him to tell us where Bori has been imprisoned. He will pay for his crimes. He will tell us what he's done with Bori. I don't think I'm gonna get off the boot to interrupt him. Oh, I did, maybe. Nope. Gambits aren't working very well. Let's get the timing back down. Again, I'm having to slow down my gambit input. Because even an offensive strike, maybe that hits all. Couldn't tell if the two, oh no, I never fired it off, so I don't know. Okay. Let's make sure Orvar was coming, not saying like, we need to regroup for a moment, let's talk. How came these maggots before me? Were not the front gates barred? They were, Lord Mazog. What is your excuse, Worm? How did these fools enter my fortress? I don't know. It's not possible. Hack. I will kill them for you. Enough of this, Mazog. You will tell us where you've imprisoned the dwarves you captured. I do not imprison dwarves, Rankbeard. I slay them. Uh-oh. I am Mazog, cleaver of dwarf skulls and master of orcs. Will tear you limb from limb. Before Mazog can reach out, a new voice rings out. 2 of Celeborn's finest archers will pierce your heart at my command. Now, where are the dwarves you imprisoned? Where is my cousin Bori? Dwarf slaves are no use to me. They are far too weak. One of the dwarves I slew, the rest I gave to Gorathul. No. You'll be halfway to Dol Guldur by now. Oh no. I should have killed you for all the hurts you've caused, Mazog. But I will not. You will remain my prisoner until the dwarves you sent away are rescued. And once we have stormed Dol Guldur and recovered the prisoners, only then will you die by my axe. I swear this oath by the throne of Durin. All right, we got to talk to Broin and Corinthiel. I got to thinking, Black Lodge, after you left about all the things that you and others have been through, and I realized something. I can no longer stand by while others fight my fight. Once I resolved to leave my self-pity behind, I hurried to Buzengar and convinced the elves here to come with me in pursuit of you. Our fortunes held, and we arrived just when needed most. I think I would have... Well, maybe not. I must hope that Bori is still alive, and that he is one of the 2 dwarves sent to Dol Guldur. It is the only hope that can keep me fighting. That would have been tough. Yeah, 36. That would have been a tough fight. I couldn't have done that. Oh, oops, caps lock. Nope. The dwarf Broin came to Buzengar not long after you left and gave such a rousing speech that we could do nothing but follow him here. Who knew dwarves could speak with such vigor? And now he has a prisoner, and has spoken an oath beside. I hope it will not end poorly for Broin or his friends. There is a curious power to vows taken lightly. Instance complete. Let's leave this place and arrange for the prisoner to be kept somewhere safe. Mazog will not trouble us on the journey where he will lose his life. Painfully, I think. Chapter 8, talk to Coronathiel.
You see the good that can be done when elves and dwarves work together.
Yeah. Mazog was right to fear the alliance and hope that it should never come to pass. The dwarf Broin came to Lasathrod, winded from a long run, and he asked that we accompany him in pursuit of you. He claimed to have made an error by leaving you to attempt the rescue of his kinsman with Orvar alone, and his regret of that decision spurred him onward. You are fortunate that he regained his courage when he did, Black Lodge. You and Orvar both. So, okay, so I think this is going to be more of those, like, you have to be level 60. So, let's see, level 57, things are orange. I guess that sort of makes sense, that. 295 armor, that's pretty good. That's heavy, I can't use it. Let's take the medium.
Haldir can arrange an audience for you with Lord Celeborn.
Okay, Lord Celeborn wishes to speak with you about what has happened. Return to Talan Haldir and speak with Haldir about arranging an audience. You'll find Talan Haldir in a great tree on the bank. Yep, okay, cool. Again, I'm going to sort of speed through this just in case the construction really kicks in. Talk to Haldir. So again, we should be, down here, just outside the forest. I don't know where a good spot is for this. But yeah. Book 9. So we might be almost done with, okay.
It is good to see you again.
Is it true that you have defeated Mazog in his own lair? Haldir smiles as you briefly tell your tale. You are truly an astonishment to me, my friend. I did not really expect the rumor to be true. Let me know when you're ready to see Lord Celeborn, and I will bring you to see him as requested. Okay.
I will take you to see Lord Celeborn, if you are ready.
Okay. Solo quest.
The defeat of Mazog has sent ripples of hope throughout the dwarves of the Iron Garrison. Though it be short-lived, my husband Celeborn must be satisfied with that victory and turn his eyes towards other dangers on the horizon.
Okay. Again, let's talk to Haldir. Lord Celeborn is waiting.
Outsiders into the Golden Wood.
Come with me, for he greatly desires to speak with you. Many strangers have wandered in our fair eves of late, Randir. Thank you, Haldir. You have surprised me, Black Lodge. Not only did you defeat Grawalun, the Kairog, and diminish its corrupting influence in Buzungar, but you also managed to broker a peace of sorts between elves and dwarves forced to stand together. It may seem a lesser matter when measured against such a creature as Grawalun, but do not mistake it. Friendship between elf and dwarf may count for much in the days ahead. But I do not agree with one action you have taken, Black Lodge. Mazog is an enemy, and a foul one. His life should not have been spared. Was that up to me, though? Or was it the dwarf who called it? I don't know. He cannot stay here. Makes sense. You cannot see it from here, but far to the east, a great cloud lies always over Dol Guldur and southern Mirkwood. An evil stirs there, and it lies in watchfulness. It does not have the strength to move against us unless Sauron himself wages war upon Lorien. But its power is growing. We cannot wait for the force in Dol Guldur to come forth in strength. Let's take the fight to Dol Guldur, baby. Let's do it. You must continue to be our eyes and ears, Black Lodge. To that end, I give you a gift. Cloak of elf make. You indeed have been given such garments. May it serve you well on the road ahead, wherever it may lie. I thank you for your deeds you have already done, and also for those you will surely do in the future. Haldir will show you out, Black Lodge. Okay, talk to Haldir.
We do not allow outsiders into the Golden Wood.
Are you ready to leave? I share Lord Celeborn's concerns. Let's discuss them as we walk. Classic Sorkin walk and talk about to happen, maybe?
The Iron Garrison struggled against new dangers unearthed in the depths of Moria, and the errant mark of a long-dead scribe brought to light a secret way into the throne room of Durin. Mazog was defeated, but not before revealing that his captives had been sent with Gorothul to Dol Guldur, the dark fortress in Mirkwood.
All right, let's talk to Haldir. Book 9, we're not even close to book 9. I think we're only on book, 3 or 4. So that's, again, the danger. You got to be careful what you accept, because you can sort of jump timelines and knock everything out of order.
When the time comes for us to cross the river and fight, I will call for you.
All right, the winds of change are blowing, and I fear they carry with them the onset of war. Lothlorien cannot remain isolated in safety forever. Lord Celeborn's gaze must turn toward Mirkwood, and the great shadow that lies over Dol Guldur. When the time comes to cross the river and fight, as it seems we must, I will call for you. Had I once thought it might not be necessary... Had I once thought it might not be necessary, I do not any longer. Too many signs seem to point in that direction. Stay well, Black Lodge. We will have need of you yet. We gotta choose one. Let's see, 10 vitality. Are they all going to be like a stealth bump? And vitality, critical rating, evade, agility, 2410, 2410, 84, 118. Can't tell. If there's any difference. Oh no, because I'm looking at mine, what I'm equipped. Okay, we got 221 armor, 10 vitality, okay. Agility, vitality. Is any one of them more vitality? No. So it's the top two. They both bump vitality to plus 10. The top one also includes a maximum morale. Again, all this is level 60, so I can't wear it yet, so I'm going to take the top one. I don't have enough room to do this. Oof. Okay. Look at that. What are these? Just don't care about so much of this. What's this? Let's drag some of these off. Something. I gotta get rid of something. Okay, whatever. I'll take this top one. Let's talk to Haldir. Are we already on book 8? I thought I was on like book 4.
The preparations required by the Golden Host will take some time.
Lord Celeborn is making preparations for a great incursion into Mirkwood, not for conquest, but to forestall the attack from Dol Guldur that must surely come. We are gathering supplies and making all things ready for the passage of the Maladrim, the Golden Host, and the Lord and Lady are carefully selecting those who will lead it. One of those I think likely to travel with the Golden Host is named Suriel. She's a student of history and of the mysteries of the natural world and spoke often with Mithrandir on the rare occasion his business brought him to the Golden Wood. She seeks to know the true nature of things and loves the unraveling of puzzles and secrets above all else. Suriel has been asking for you, Black Lodge. She wished to hear the tale of Mazog's capture in the depths of Moria from your lips, and had questions to ask you. Look for her on the high flet atop Erin Amroth. I think that's it. We finished book 7. I guess we were on book 7. I thought we were on book 4, but what do I know? Yeah, let me actually just check something. It's going to get a little weird in the video for a sec. Nope, that was book 7. Okay. So there we go. Another book down in the main quest line of Lord of the Rings Online. Another good chapter as far as I'm concerned. Like I was saying, we came out of Moria for a little bit, and I knew we had to go back in. I'm wondering if we're pretty close, though, to not having... I'm not going to promise, obviously, that we're done with Moria for good, but we're sort of turning our eyes towards Mirkwood and Dol Guldur. And so I feel like maybe the story will take us back and forth a little bit, but I think there's a chance that the narrative is truly ready to move on, for the most part, from Moria. That's what I'm sort of hoping. So a little thing. You know, I've mentioned a million times the Iron Crown Enterprise Middle-earth role-playing game from the 80s. Huge fan. Nostalgia-wise, I love that game. But the material for it is some of the best Middle-earth lore material you can get out there. I mean, you got to be able to track it down. But the Mirkwood books, I think there was like a Southern Mirkwood. I don't know if it was a Northern Mirkwood or just Mirkwood. There were a couple of those books, and those were always ones that captured my interest the most when I was a kid. You know, I must have read through the regular Mirkwood one a couple of times. I think I'm remembering the right books. And so anytime Mirkwood comes up here in Lord of the Rings Online, I'm like, oh yeah, let's do this, because I'm immediately sort of rekindling that excitement I had when I was a kid, looking at those Iron Crown Enterprise supplements for the Mirkwood regions of Middle-earth. So anyway, that's what we'll be doing next time. We'll pick that up and start infiltrating into Dol Guldur and Mirkwood itself. And yeah, really looking forward to that. So thanks again to everybody who's checking this out. As I said, you know, we've been hitting 299, 300, whatever subscribers. Greatly appreciate all of you. Hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully you're enjoying a run through the main story. And yeah, stick around for, again, more of what we actually do, which is tabletop RPGs. At the time of this recording, we have just started Matt's Symbaroum adventure. So we did a session 0 a while ago, and we just posted first actual play session. We're continuing to make progress in the Cold War spy game. Another session of that is going to drop at the end of, again, this week at the time of the recording. And yeah, we're going to try and get through those. And then as soon as I think we're done with my Cold War spy game, I think we're going to sort of focus on one GM, one adventure at a time instead of going back and forth. So Patrick's talking about doing some Deadlands or Savage Worlds. Yeah, so that's what's coming up on the tabletop front. TRPGs, it's this, and I'm still plugging away at Ultima 5, so we'll keep chipping away at that until either I beat it or the old school nature of it drives me crazy. So thanks again to everybody for checking this out. Take care.